rock sharp. That's when the signal shines in. Got the mic set up and the camera spin. Grab a coffee, pull up your chair, join the drive. 'Cause the only place to be on a Monday night at 9 is right here, alive. We're drilling down deep on the legend of fur, the biggest mystery ever did stir. It's Sasquatch Watch Radio. Tune into the same with Garry Kendrick hosting with King. He's heard the howls, he's caught the form's trace, a true seeker leading the chase. Something stirs out in the shadowy wood. Let's uncover it together, just like we should. The team is geared up, the map is laid clear. We bring expert voices where the facts appear. We feature top names on this digital plane, from Meldrum's big theories to Strange Rich Strain. With Lyle Blackburn and Scott Violet online, we chase the elusive one sighting at a time. It's Sasquatch Watch Radio. Tune into the screen with Garry Kendrick, host of the scene. He's heard the howls, he's seen the dark form, a true eyewitness leading the storm. Something is lurking out in the dark wood. Let's find it together, just like we should. We give you the legends, the truth laid raw, and a unique track for the tale of the law. So subscribe to the channel, heed the lead. We're planting knowledge, pulling up the weed. Yeah, Monday night, 9 Eastern, YouTube Live. Sasquatch Watch Radio, where the quest thrives.
Hey, everybody. Monday night, March the 23rd, 2026. You're watching Sasquatch Watch Radio. And unfortunately, tonight, just going to be me and you and General Mathis back there. We're going to be talking about Sasquatch in the news. And, children, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff going on. Of course, the most recent thing is the sighting group in Northeast Ohio. There apparently was 6 sightings in 4 days. Let's see, it was in Portage and Turnbull counties. I probably screwed the name of them up. I'm sorry. It's really interesting group of reports. Ohio had a fairly large meteor that exploded in Northeast Ohio, in pretty close to the same general area as these sightings have all occurred. And when the meteorite, I'm not sure, I think a meteorite's after it enters the atmosphere. So anyway, when it exploded, it created a sonic boom that can be heard for, I think, like 600 miles away. Now, what's interesting with that is that this cluster of reports happened in the same general corridor as where the meteor had exploded. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Gary's going into a UFO conspiracy. Gary's going into some kind of portal conspiracy. No, Gary's going to try to use just a little bit of what I call country common sense. If we all think back several years ago, there was a huge tsunami that struck Southeast Asia, places like Thailand and things like that. And all of these islands in Southeast Asia experienced this tsunami. People reported, like the day before the tsunami hit, that animals were moving to higher ground. Elephants, primates, rodents, all these wild animals were moving to higher ground the day before the tsunami even hit. So what I'm kind of talking about is animals have almost like a sixth sense when it comes to like disasters like that. I don't know if they can feel like a disruption in the ground, if they just kind of, we all get that creepy feeling sometimes, and I wonder if it's something similar to that. So anyway, all of these animals took off, went to higher ground. It goes right along with the purpose of rats leaving the sinking ship. So they are preserving their own life by vacating the area that's going to have the disturbance. I think this might possibly have something to do with the amount of sightings and the amount of days that they had. And not only that, the reports were pretty solid between the two counties. Most of them, I think, were in Portage County. But there was reports of 8 to 10 feet tall Sasquatch being reported. Now, it was also brought to my attention that there's a video out of some guy in a suit running through a parking lot, and it's claimed that he's doing all of the sightings in Ohio. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'd like to say this. Is it possible? Yes. Is it plausible? Could be. It is 33.8 miles between the two counties involved. And that would be, like I said, Portage and Turnbull counties. So to get 6 sightings in 4 days, you'd have to be out in your costume, which undoubtedly is a really big costume, between 8 to 10 feet. And you would have to kind of drive up and down and run across the road a whole lot and hope that people saw you. Now, with that being said, is there a possibility that it could be a hoax? Well, as with every encounter that there is always a possibility that there could be a hoax. So, that's just one thing that we all have to keep in mind, is that, that possibility is always out there. So that's something to look for. I'll kind of give you my own kind of feelings on this, which, my thoughts and everything else are just me. It has nothing else to do with it. It's a really incredible set of sightings. 8 to 10 feet tall, that's really kind of on the upper end of the height level. 6 reports, 4 days. That's a lot of animals moving. And like I said, and it happened too in just the same exact corridor where that meteor incident happened. So I think that there is a real possibility. 49-51. I'm 51% convinced that there may be something to this, just based on, animal behaviors and things like that, of how they'll avoid these major catastrophes and things. So I think there's a real possibility that this happened. Now, with that being said, 8 to 10 feet tall, upper end, very large adults. Really no comment on juveniles or anything like that. I'm not for sure why that would be. There's lots of explanations for it. Maybe it's not a child rearing period. Maybe it's a time when the juveniles are off somewhere else. It could be several different things. Maybe the juveniles have been kicked out of this particular area. I don't know. But it's really interesting that all of these sightings happened in about the same corridor as that meteor. And if somebody was going to hoax these sightings, it's just really odd that it would happen along that same corridor. So anyway, that being said, that's kind of the first part of Sasquatch in the news. I kind of think there might be something to it just based on a little bit of science with the way the animals moved out. Based a lot too on the mileage, 33.8 miles between the two counties. And the fact that somebody would have to spend quite a bit of money at, let's just face it, children, almost $4 a gallon for gas to run 4 days worth between 33.8 miles. So, pretty incredible. The next thing I'd like to jump into, Bigfoot in the news, is we've had a pretty active period coming on, especially with, though I have to put my glasses on. The reference that I'm going to use right now, and I'll just drop it out right now, it's the BFRO database. And I'm going to tell you something. BFRO, you love them, you hate them. Ever how you want to do it. You love them or you hate them. I've met lots of BFRO researchers that are great guys. Like I said, love them or hate them. They are a wonderful source of information. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw a little bit of that out right now. It's really easy to get a hold of. You can look at by state. You can look by county in that state. It is a well put together set of information. You can get specific details of the report and everything. So, in the month of March 2026, the BFRO has had 4 report sightings so far. Now, all of these sightings did not happen in 2026. They happen at different time periods, but we'll just jump into the first one here, which is one of my favorites. It's January of 2026. It was in South Carolina in Florence County. It was a Class A, which was a visual, road crossing, sighting of a Bigfoot on different days, 35 miles northwest of Myrtle Beach. Anybody on the East Coast fairly familiar with Myrtle Beach? So we're talking 35 miles from Myrtle Beach. Pretty close. It's pretty interesting. And I'll just tell you too, South Carolina is a really diverse ecosystem. Me and my wife, we go to South Carolina here. We go to different beaches. The one we've been going to the most lately has been Isle of Palms. But even in these touristy areas, you have coyote populations, armadillos. Armadillos have been found up in Kentucky. But you have all this ecosystem. And, you would think, well, there wouldn't be any kind of reports of an animal, a Bigfoot, that close to that populated area. But 35 miles, we got a report of a good one. The next one occurred June 2025 in Georgia. It was a Class A. It was a late night sighting of a Bigfoot on Fort Stewart Army Base. I'm going to leave that at that. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. The next one from March, it occurred in October of 2006. It was in Iowa, in Clinton County. It was also a nighttime sighting by a fisherman on the Washpacon River, and I know I destroyed that name, and I'm sorry. And for all the guys out there in Kansas, this one happened September 2025 in Douglas County. Fisherman saw a Sasquatch while fishing at Clinton Lake, 19 miles southeast of Topeka. In February of 2026, the BFRO got 4 reports. 2012 report of motorist reports a 3 a.m. road crossing sighting on Highway 40 across the Tennessee River from Scottsboro. February of 2026 in Oklahoma, Byron County. 2 days ago, family of 3 spotted a tall Sasquatch on a power line, easement 11 miles north of Durant. A 1987 encounter from Pennsylvania. It's also a Class A. 2 witnesses independently reported the same 1987 road crossing of a Bigfoot 5 miles northwest of Penn State University. That's pretty close, 5 miles from Penn State. Then we have a December 1978 in Mason County, Kentucky. A dairy farmer who was a former Marine sees a line of Bigfoot, probably approximately about 7 on his farm 10 miles west of Maysville. January, the BFRO had 2 reports in 2005. It was a Virginia report, Stafford County. Marines on night maneuvers spotted an 8-foot tall Bigfoot up in the trees on Quantico Marine Base. We'll leave it at that. We're going to get back to that in just a minute. September 2025 was the next report. It was in Wisconsin. It was a Class A road encounter. 2 witnesses observed the same creature. Mooring Oak, I believe, was the area. And then in December of 2025, they had 1 report. It was also from Washington State, Mason County. It was a Class A. A woman observed a Sasquatch walk up a dock ramp and into the woods. Okay, now there was 2 military encounters that were brought up. An old Marine, Quantico, Virginia, is a Marine Corps facility. Actually, it's a multi-force facility, but a lot of Marines go to Quantico. And I think the primary security and children, I have a hair on my eye, excuse me. A lot of the security and things are run by the United States Marine Corps. Like I said, I'm an old Marine myself. I'm partial to the Marine Corps. There has been multiple sightings on Quantico of something that they call the Quantico monster. Multiple Marine units have spotted upright, hairy, bipedal, kind of humanish being. Sasquatch. It's Sasquatch. So, anyway, you have all of these things. The other military encounter that we had was on Fort Stewart, the great state of Georgia. So we've had Bigfoot sightings in Fort Stewart. You have a lot of sightings on, I'm trying to think of the big Army base now in the state of Washington, and I cannot come up with it. If anyone up with it, give me a hand there. But there are hundreds of reports every year from these military facilities. And a lot of people would think that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to kind of try to break it down a little bit. Military bases are vast tracts. Fort Lewis, thank you very much, David. Fort Lewis. Bunch of sightings on Fort Lewis in the state of Washington. But military bases are vast tracts of land. I mean, huge. I was stationed on Camp Pendleton, California. Huge facility. Huge facility. Vast amount of acreage. I was also stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Same deal. Huge. I did training at 29 Palms, California. Huge. Okay, now, the thing with military bases is you have these huge areas of land with a small population of humans there. Now, when I say small, I'm not talking about 10 or 15 people stationed on one of these great big plots of land. No, you have thousands and thousands of people on on these military bases, but they are in specific areas. There are vast tracts of land that only get used occasionally for things like training missions or whatever. So you have these vast tracts of land in different environments. In Okinawa, Japan, you could do jungle training at the northern training area. Now, they may have the name of all the stuff that I've been out, so you got to take that into consideration. But you have this jungle area that they do jungle training in. And the only time that area really gets used is when they're doing the jungle training. So you have these vast areas of land that get little use, perfect environment for Sasquatch. There are resources there. I don't know if any of you guys are former Marines or not, but I'm just going to tell you, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, is covered in coastal black-tailed deer. They're small, but I'm talking about it. If you didn't see at least a couple hundred deer a night, you was in a bad spot. Okay, they are everywhere. You can't drive down some of these back roads to get to these training areas for them. So you have all of this land, you have all of these resources, because the land is actually not being used that often. And it kind of creates this environment to where they can move in, do their thing as I don't even want to say animals, that's my belief, it may not be y'all's belief, but do their thing as a Sasquatch. Feed, water, cover, concealment, whatever. And little human intervention. Perfect place. Perfect place. Now, with all of these sightings and reports going on, the military really frowns on the obscure. So, you'll hear people say that, I saw Sasquatch here, I saw Sasquatch there on this military base. It threw rocks at us, it did this, it did that, it did whatever. We were told not to include it in our reports. We were told to leave it alone. We were told to leave the area, blah, 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 blah. We were told that it wasn't what we saw. It was a bear and all this other stuff. I believe those reports. I'll tell you why. Is because that's perfect military logic. Okay? They don't want anything to do with it. If they can't explain it, they're done with it. So that makes perfect sense to me. Now, you take, like I said, places like Fort Lewis. It's in the state of Washington. It's not that far from Mount Rainier. My dad was actually stationed at Fort Lewis for a little while back in the 60s, and he could see Mount Rainier from where he was stationed at. He talked about the vast forest there on Fort Lewis. Now, like I said, lots of reports on Fort Lewis, but also lots of reports all around that particular section of Washington. So really interesting. Like I said, Bigfoot in news. If you want like up to date, like some of the best sighting reports, do your homework. Get on your computers, get on your phones. I really don't know what system you guys are using, but get on something. Just look around. Like I said, love them or hate them, the BFRO is a wonderful database for up-to-date information on sightings. And I'm talking about big descriptions. I don't know if any of you guys use the BFRO page or been on the BFRO page. You can get some of the best information on the BFR page. I'm talking about temperature, time of day, what the encounter was like, who saw it, where they saw it at, who investigated it. really, really incredible stuff. So I suggest using things like the BFRO page to look at their database, look for up-to-date information. Another good resource is just Google search. Now, with that being said, too, you can get a lot of junk too with a Google search. Not everything on Google is good. So you kind of got to weed it out, look through it, see what you think, all that. But now you can find some really interesting information on Google if you look it up. Now, like I said, do your homework. Look at things, understand what's being done, understand what's being said, take into consideration the source. Like I said, a lot of stuff could be hoaxes. Everybody that's been a researcher in this field has had some type of hoax happen to them. Now, that being said, you have to take into consideration all the things that's going on. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of roll the clock back a little bit to last week. Last week, I kind of gave my thoughts on the Patterson film. My thoughts, because the possibility is out there now through this, chasing Bigfoot documentary that knowing yet, which I think is really odd. So, with that being said, I want to go into that just a little bit, kind of roll things back to last week a little bit. And I want to start off with a quote. I've been reading these books, and the author is D.A. Roberts, and I read and listen on Audible to books. D.A. Roberts has published the Wild Hunt books. It's a team of multi-armed force people that hunt cryptids that are dangerous to humans. And there's multiple books in that series. He also writes one called the Lakeview Man series, which deals more with the main character in the Wild Hunt books, his wife. But anyway, as I was listening, it's a long story, I'm sorry. I was listening to these books, and while I was listening to these books, I heard a quote, because they give quite a few quotes in these books from different people. And man, this quote hit me, children, like a freight train. And the quote is, "There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact." Quote of Sherlock Holmes, another one of my favorite characters from a book. Nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact. Now, with that being said, nothing more deceptive. We're rolling back, talking about the Patterson Big Gimlin film. There's some facts that I think everyone needs to be aware of to start with. The first one was Roger Patterson working on making a Bigfoot Sasquatch documentary? Yes. Yes, he was. Going back, did Roger Patterson use a suit? Yes. Yes, he did. Because he was making B-rolls for this documentary that he was making. Did Roger Patterson buy a suit? Well, obviously, yeah, because he was using a suit to do these recreations for his documentary. Were there strange things done during that time? Yeah, he had Bob Gimlin dress up like an Apache Indian. So, I mean, lots of strange things going on at that time. Lots of strange things going on at that time. But the no shocker parts is that, number one, Roger Patterson did buy a suit. So one of the big spoilers in this documentary that I've heard about is that they found a receipt from where Roger Patterson bought a modified gorilla suit. Well, yeah, because he did. He had one. So anyway, the next thing is I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. The next thing is did he use this suit? Well, yeah. So here's another big shocker. Could there be a video of someone wearing a suit that Roger Patterson filmed? Very well. Very well. Now, am I going to sit here and say that the Patterson and Gimlin film is 100% fact and that everybody believes that it's a hoax should just, lay down and die? No, I'm not. I could be from the state of Missouri. You're going to have to show me. I want facts. I want proof. I want evidence. I do not want an old Marine Corps term, scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt is just people gossiping. Now, I'm sure we've all been on the internet in the past couple of days, past week, past 2 weeks, past whatever. And we've all seen everybody in a big buzz about this new documentary. Flying around. Oh, man, gab, going on. That's the kind of information that we don't want. Now, just in the research that I've done so far on it, the quote-unquote test run film was found at Al Datley's mansion. I didn't know Al Datley's family had a mansion. They could have. I don't know. Then it was found at somebody else's mansion. I don't know. It was found at a Boeing plant where it was developed. I don't know. But if this documentary is so finger point and get everybody all in this big fuzz, everybody's on the internet and fighting it out, and taking sides, then how is there people on the internet talking about 3 different places that the film was found? Okay. I don't understand. But I still don't know anybody in the Bigfoot community that has seen this documentary. So it's kind of unusual that we have all this buzz about it. A few other things that I want to get into here is timing. A big thought that I had the other day was the timing of this documentary. And what got me on the timing of it is that the interest in Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, is way up. The population is interested in it. Way up. Right now would be a good time to do any kind of movie, whether it's a spin or a negative spin on anything in Bigfoot, because people are going to watch it. Now, with that being said, I encourage everyone on the internet to kind of step back. Let's all step back from it. Take a moment. Watch the movie. Watch the documentary. Wait till it comes out somewhere, goes to a theater near you, whatever. Watch it. Use common sense. Observe the video. Take it for what it is. Okay? The evidence there may be 100%. proof that the whole thing is a hoax? I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I think we should all take a step back, and in taking a step back, hold our comments. Let's try not to feed into all this frenzy about it until we actually get to see it. And then once we all get to see it, let's discuss logically. Let's discuss it openly. Put our best foot forward. Let's put our best foot forward on this and take what we see and what we have and put them together. Make informed decisions. It's a really, really interesting thing. Now, with that being said, too, I want to hop in there and say this. If it is proven that the Patterson and Gimlin film is a hoax, will that change my research? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. Because that is one hoax, one sighting, one hoax. That does not prove that Sasquatch is not real. Thousands of people is animal. Thousands. I said animal. I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I'm not trying to push my own thoughts on anybody. That's, out there. If it is a hoax, it's one hoax. It's one sighting that was hoaxed. That does not answer all the other sightings. My encounter was in 2006. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to hurt feelings, and I'm not trying to throw shade. Al Datley or Hieronymus, Bob Hieronymus, maybe one of them two was in a suit walking across the road at 4:30 in the morning here in Virginia, trying to scare two boys on their way to work. Okay? That's all there is to that. I saw it. Other people have seen it. There's print evidence. We have hair evidence. We have all this stuff going on. We've had thermal video. We've had all this other stuff. That does not change the field of research. All that does is just show that one time in 1967, we all got fooled. Big deal. We all got fooled. Move forward. And we'll steal another quote from a person I hold a lot of respect with, or hold a lot of respect for, Thomas Steenberg. Follow the facts. Just the facts. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're all going to work on it. Anything else. Now I'm going to bring this comment up right here. Right, brother. If I can get it to come up. Either my mouse is dead or I've gone stupid. One, I don't know which. Anyway, Can Squatch, I'll just read it. Said, I'm going to try one more time. There we go. Host of the Hairy Man Road channel saw it at South Bay Southwest Festival. Squatch, can you tell? Let us know what's happening. What did he say? Have you talked to him directly? Have you heard anything about it? Let us know. It's important. Mike, I sorry about the glitching, guys. Internet kind of come see, come saw. I'm sorry. But I'm trying to get out the best information here that I can. Like I said, Can Squatch, hey, drop us a little comment here. Let us know what you've heard, what he, if you've talked to him directly, if he said anything. I'm interested. I want to know. Another thing, too, in the news lately is the weather. Now, I'm going to say this, too. Y'all are going to sit back and think Gary has gone crazy. Talking about the weather. We've had some really weird weather. We've had some odd weather phenomenons happening. I'll just throw out some examples. It was 70-some degrees last week. And the very next day, it started snowing at noon. By the next day at noon, right here in my own little town, we had 6 inches of snow. Now, granted, it didn't stick around long. Within a couple of days, it was all gone. But 70 degrees to 6 inches of snow. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. 85 degrees the other day. On Sunday, it was a beautiful day. Beautiful day. We've had a lot of wind phenomenons. Straight line winds, things that mimic hurricanes. Okay, let me pull this one up here. Can Squatch responded back, says, hey, I'm assuming he said he put out a video with his opinion that it was a hoax. Later, he appeared on Steve Cole's channel. Let me see here. Later, he appeared on Steve Cole's channel for a panel discussion that included Thomas Steinberg. I haven't seen that one yet. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I'd like to know. Thomas Steinberg's, I'm going to be honest with you, Thomas Steinberg's pretty hard on reports. Just to be straight, he can be very skeptical. And I think he's a wonderful source of information. You got to figure he worked with the Big Five when, back in the day. He knew them all. Ray Hendon, all of them. He knew them all. So he's a wonderful source of information. And I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you guys. I'm honored that he's been on my show, and I'm honored that he comes on our show and comments. That says a lot. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm interested in that Can Squatch. I'm going to try to check that out. I'll probably check that out tomorrow. See what I can see on that. Did you see the interview, Can Squatch? If you did, shoot us another comment and let us know what you thought, what your opinion is. Going into it, like I said, the Patterson Gimlin film, everybody says, oh, well, that's the gold standard. Kind of yes and no. It's 50-some seconds of rough, shaky, grainy, not good imagery. And really, no, it's not the gold standard. It's kind of, it's up there. It's like the first video. I'm not going to say it's the greatest video. There's one going around right now, Bigfoot in the news. We're talking about Bigfoot in the news. There's video going around the internet right now. And if it's true, dude, I'm talking about, it's clear. I'm talking about crisp. You can see it blink. You can see it moving its head. It kind of gets up, moves off. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I don't know if it's AI. I haven't really had time to sit down and kind of go through it. I've had a quick look at it. I've had a couple people that I'm close with take a look at it. And nobody really knows. But man, I'm telling you what, it's interesting. If you guys aren't familiar with it, Google search recent Bigfoot videos or Sasquatch videos or Bigfoot video today. Should bring it up. Really interesting. As the animal moves its head, you can see the whites of its eyes. Got a really unique like hair structure. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm going to bring this up. Mike Nation here. Put Mike in the hot seat for a minute. I think it's the most promoted video of all time, he says. And I'm going to say, yes, it is. If you think about it, I'm going to say this. If you think about it, Mike, it is everything that, I grew up with. Now, like I said, I'm a child of the 70s and the 80s. Not Monster Quest, but In Search of, and all those other shows always played that Patterson and Gimlin film. Always. It is very promoted. Every Bigfoot t-shirt that you see has the Patty walking on it. And I'm going to say this too. The original video is lost. Just to be upfront. The original video is gone. Hasn't been found. It probably, even if they did find it, it's probably so degraded that we'd never be able to use it. A lot of the video footage that we have of the Patterson and Gimlin film is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th, 12th generation copies. Now, for all of us that grew up back in the day, you can dub a cassette tape from another cassette tape. We've all done it. Made our own jam tape, our own music. And it's not quite as good as the original because it's just a copy of the original. And then somebody likes your jam tape, so they copy it. So now the quality gets a little less, and the quality gets a little less, and a little less, and a little less. And you get things in there that are artifacts because it has been copied so long. Now, I'm going to say this. I mentioned it last week. Throw it out there again this week. In the Patterson and Gimlin film, Patty does not have her hand turned out like that, sticking behind her like she's walking like an Egyptian. That's not happening. That's a shadow remnant from a rock that's behind her that has become so prominent in the video that it looks like her hand is stuck out flat, like she's doing the walking like an Egyptian thing. That's not at all what's happening. Not at all. It's a shadow that's become an artifact from all these different copies, and it goes on. Now, like I said, too, with all these different copies going on, the quality of the video gets less and less and less and less. So if it gets less and less and less and less, that kind of damages the whole thing. So the videos that we're seeing now are not as good as the original. The original footage was not that great at all because, like I said, it was shaky, kind of grainy. There's only really a couple of times that it was steady and focused good and everything else. So that's kind of that. Can Squatch says he watched only a little bit of the Cull show, so no opinion until he watches the full show. Likely wait until I see the documentary itself. Exactly. It's exactly what I'm talking about, Can Squatch. Exactly. We need to make informed opinions, or informed decisions, instead of opinionated decisions. Now, I can sit here and tell you why I'm the greatest man that's ever walked the face of the earth. My opinion, not fact-based, because I'm probably not the greatest man that's ever walked the face of the earth. Although I'm waiting on him to die off so I can take his place. But anyway, we need to make fact-based decisions and not opinion-based decisions. That's the thing that hurts us a lot. And like I said, Sasquatch in the news, if you've been paying attention, you've been seeing it. It's opinion-based. I believe. I think. I want. It's all opinion-based. There's nothing really to it. It's not objective. It's just opinion-based. We as a community need to get away from the opinion bases and work more toward fact-based information. Now, like I said, I've watched a lot of videos on the Capturing Bigfoot documentary. I'm waiting to see how it comes out. If anybody is curious about it, has not heard about it, Sorry about that. I lost you guys. That hasn't heard about it, it's a documentary that's examining the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. The director, I believe his name is Mark Evans, Marq, if you want to look him up. He's had some success with some documentaries that he done. He's primarily a documentarian. Diamond King, I think was a baseball, was probably his most prominent documentary that he did. Now he's done this documentary on capturing Bigfoot. I'm hoping that it will be released on a streaming system soon. There was some scuttlebutt going on last week that it was to be released on Thursday, but it never did. It didn't get released on Thursday. I think it's still doing the film circuit. So we're all just going to have to wait. We're all just going to have to wait. Informed decisions. Watch the information. Watch the information. Stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. And remember, there's nothing no more deceptive than an obvious fact. And, you know, a lot of people think, well, what does that mean? I'm kind of going into that now. An obvious fact. Okay. Obvious fact. That bottle, I shouldn't have showed the label on it, I'm sorry. That bottle's empty. The obvious fact. Garry drank it. Obvious fact. Or did he? What if he spilled it? Maybe he poured it out. Maybe somebody else drank it. He just got the bottle. Obvious fact. Garry drank it. Obvious fact. Garry drank it. But it's deceptive because we're not there when it takes place. Okay? We're secondhand. Secondhand. When you have firsthand information, wonderful. Wonderful. You saw it, you felt it, you seen it, you know, you smelled it, it ran by and touched you on the shoulder. Wonderful information. Full information. Now, you pass that information along to somebody, and they're going to pass it along to somebody else. They're going to pass it along to somebody else. They're going to pass it along to somebody else. And the story has completely changed. Probably 3-4 times since the time that you told it. First-hand information is the best to work with. So when it comes to Sasquatch in the news, find the reports. Take the reports. Know the people that are doing it. Look for obvious facts. Not only look for obvious facts, stick to the facts. We all need to learn from what's happening now. And the lesson here that we really need to learn is Bigfoot is in the news. Sasquatch, Bigfoot, no nicks, white things, Sukalu, Junisqua, whatever you want to call it, in the news. Why? Why is it in the news? Seems like we're getting a lot of reports lately. Seems like there's activity kicking up. Virginia's been kind of cold right now. 2004 and 2005 was pretty hot. Right now in Virginia, I'll speak for my state. We're a little bit cold right now. Sightings are going to pick up probably during the summer, spring. Interesting time. Find these people that have had these encounters. Sit down, talk with them. I encourage every group, and when I say group, I'm talking about I belong to a group. I belong to the Sasquatch Watch of Virginia. They're in live Sasquatch Watch Radio. Sasquatch Watch of Virginia, you know, we cover all over. We have a lot of people that can, you know, we have people in different states also that are members of Sasquatch Watch of Virginia. We have people in Montana. We have people in Florida, South Carolina, So we need to find these. Yeah, Allison Madison. I'll bring her comment up right here. It's a good one. Virginia is being bulldozed for data centers. They have to relocate. A lot of construction. I will say that. But getting back to my point, find these people that's had these encounters. I encourage every group, my group, Sasquatch Watch of Virginia, your group, the BFRO, and I'm telling you right now, love them, hate them, whatever you want to say, the BFRO is knocking it out of the park with these reports. Their information, their data on point, people, on point. You can look up every state, there's the information. As groups, we all need to encourage good report taking, good data storage, all that. Take an example from the BFRO. I mean, for real, killing it. As far as the information goes, killing it. They get report sightings, they file them. You have all this information in the report sighting. I'm just going to, kind of throw a challenge out there right now. Everybody that's listening tonight, get on the BFRO page, look at it, find a report close to you, whatever, and check it out. Look at the information that's in there. It is truly wonderful. But that's my thing. Get your information from first-hand witnesses. Don't take second-hand information. Do good reports. Write good reports. Some of the information that you'll need in these reports will be time of day of the sighting, weather conditions. And weather conditions can mean a lot. Like I said, based on these weird weather patterns that we're having, it's causing, differences in animal behavior. And it's not just here in, my little section of Virginia, here in Southwest Virginia, right next to Kentucky. It's everywhere. Last year, Kentucky had some pretty devastating storms. One of the guests that we had on lives in Somerset, Kentucky, and a tornado went through less than a mile from his house. Okay. You don't hear about tornadoes a whole lot in Kentucky, but they've been happening more and more and more frequently. Now, if you check with these meteorologists, what they call Tornado Alley is actually shifting. So the storms are actually moving. So different states are going to get different weather patterns now. Different weather patterns cause different migration routes, different feeding habits, different everything for everything that lives in the forest. Okay? So Sasquatch is going to be affected. Like I said, in these reports, get your weather facts. Is there anything going on outside of the sighting that might have something to cause it? Storm damage, fires, deforestation, things like that. Keep in mind, all of this information sounds like a bunch of junk. But when you put it all together, you're fitting these pieces of these puzzles together. When you get all the pieces to line up, there's a clear image of what's happening. And that kind of report taking is what we need to keep Sasquatch in the news. I've kind of dedicated myself to try to give the best information that I can to you guys. I don't like shows that just throw out a bunch of facts that you don't have a lot of background on. When I give you guys information, the information that I try to give you guys is the best that I have. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I don't try to do anything else with it. Whatever. I try to give the best information that I can. And with me giving you the best information that I can, I try to keep the most up-to-date information that I can. There's a little section in our theme song that says we're planting knowledge and pulling up the weeds. That's what this show is about. That's what this show is about. Now, in the future, after I have seen some of the debates on this film, and I have seen the film myself, and I have studied the film, I've researched the evidence that they present in that film. I'll come back on here and I will tell you, yes, the Patterson-Gimlin film is 100% a hoax. This is why. Or I'm going to tell you that, hey, I believe the Patterson-Gimlin film is real. This is why. There's no need to sit around and just flap our gums about it. Like I said, in the videos that I've seen, there's been two different people that's been in the suit. Surprised there was a suit. Well, of course there was a suit. Roger Patterson had a suit to do Be Real for the documentary that he was doing. We found a receipt for a suit. Of course. He bought one. Stick to the facts. Don't let this little minor stuff to the side. The fact is Roger Patterson had a suit. It's fact. That's an obvious fact. They have film of it. They have a receipt for it. They even have a guy that said he made it. Now, once I have watched this documentary, studied this information, done everything else that I can, come back on here and give you guys an update. What I think, what I've saw, my own observations. I don't take things lightly. I've worked with Allison Maston in the past. She's on here tonight. I greatly appreciate you coming on tonight, Allison. Allison knows that I don't take things lightly. I like to look into things. I try to be skeptical when I can. I try to study things. I try to use a scientific method. Are things repeatable? We have a lot of stuff that is repeatable. With that being said, Sasquatch in the news, keep your eyes out. Let's all watch Ohio, see if there's been any more encounters in Ohio. Let's expand it a little bit more. Let's take into Pennsylvania too. We need to keep track of that. If they are moving because of this meteor incident or some other type of incident, that would be another place that they would go. Pennsylvania has quite a few encounters. Ohio has quite a few encounters. We're all going to keep an eye on it. So let's keep an eye out. Let's study the information that we have. Let's use good common sense when we're doing it. And, you know, to keep Sasquatch relevant and in the news, one film is not going to destroy it. Okay, hang on. We got Mike Nations here. We're going to bring up Mike real quick. Mike says, I live in Ohio. I believe the whole thing with the meteor had nothing to do with the meteor. They just know it would bring in people. Could be. Could be. But I am interested that the sighting reports, Mike, from Ohio appear to be in the same corridor as the meteor. Yeah, right here, Alice Maston brings up a good thing too. Think of how many people that do not report their sightings and things for fear of being labeled as crazy. 100%, 100%. And I'm just going to tell you this. A lot of us throughout Appalachia here, this is the Bible Belt, okay? The Bible Belt. If it's not in the Bible, it don't exist. Okay, that's a lot to do with it. I'm not going to get into religion. I prefer to keep religion separate. But, you know, people will say that Genesis 6 talks about giants. Yeah, Genesis 6 talks about giants, but it wasn't Sasquatch. I think they're talking about the Nephilim, which were men of great renown. Doesn't say they were hairy, kind of animalistic. They were men of great renown. Goliath in the Bible was a descendant of the Nephilim. They don't describe Goliath as being large and hairy and ape-like. No, he was a man. He was a warrior, a great warrior. So that can have a lot to do with it. Right here we go, Mike Nations again. I can't agree that a lot of people are scared. Yeah, lots of things going on. Lots of things going on. There's so many different things going on right now in the community. We've lost a lot of great people in a very short amount of time right here. I can throw out names and everything else. We all know. I mean, we all know. The one I think that's bothered me quite a bit was Dr. Meldrum. He was a great asset to the community. And the reason he was a great asset to the community was he had all those initials with his name. He wasn't just Jeffrey Meldrum. He was Dr. Meldrum. That helps. That helps. And that's something that we're missing. And I think the reason that we're missing a lot of that and Sasquatch is not being in the news is because think about the few times that, hey, I'm going to say this too. It's like every time there's a tornado, they find the one dude that's got on overalls, a no shirt, about 3 teeth, and, just the worst example of somebody from that town. And they interview him. And we get a lot of that too. There's been a lot of bad interviews. Just be straight. So to keep Sasquatch in the news, we need to do things on a higher level. Other than that, guys, I really don't have anything else to talk about. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tune in. Well, I say this right now. I want to thank these people individually. Jeffrey Vallet, Stephen M. Brown, and my son, Mason Kendrick. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out when you guys like it. I appreciate you guys coming on and the views. It means a lot to me. I never thought that I would have a podcast or I'd be on a podcast or I'd do a podcast. You guys are the reason that I'm doing this. It has nothing to do with me. I want you guys to have the best information I can possibly bring to you. I'd like to get some more encounter stories if I can. If there's anybody that's listening tonight that has an encounter story that would like to be on the show, feel free to contact me. I'm on Facebook. Garry Kendrick, Garr. It's 2 R's. I'm on Facebook. You can contact me there. My email is all lowercase letters, GarryKendrick@yahoo.com. Email me. I'm not a big email checker. Sorry. But email me if you need to. I'll get to you eventually. Hold on just a second here. Mo Mountain. What's the possibility of having an in-person story interview? Would love to meet you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be at the Norton, Virginia Wood Booger Festival next year. It's be in September, I believe. I'm going to try to set up a Sasquatch Watch radio booth there. I was there last year. I helped out Mike Famalot. Big shout out to Mike. Mike's a good guy to talk to. And Shenandoah Squatch, another person that was there last year. Really enjoyed spending some time with Shenandoah Squatch while we was there. I will probably attend the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Townsend, Tennessee. Me and my wife try to go every year. It's a wonderful festival. It has all kinds of stuff. I really like the festival environment, and I'll tell you why. When we have festivals, we have all this stuff. There's like at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival, they have wrestling, Bigfoot calling contests. They have music, live music. There's Sasquatch. He's got the hat and everything like Slash does and plays a guitar. Does a wonderful job at it too, while in full costume. Okay? Does a wonderful job at it. You have all that. There's vendors. Okay? They have everything that you can think of. I try to get a cup every year, like a ceramic mug. They have some beautiful ceramic mugs there that's made by these wonderful artists. They have soaps. They have all this stuff. And they have speakers. I have met Dr. Meldrum at this festival. I've met the Mountain Monsters team at this festival. I've met, oh my gosh, Ron Moorhead. That is probably the most interesting dude you can talk to, Ron Moorhead. I've met R. Scott Nelson. If you can get to any of these festivals, guys, I'm going to encourage you to go. Not only can you get good information, but it's a lot of fun too. And man, I'm telling you what, the food is phenomenal. Now, sometimes you got to stand in a line, but the food is phenomenal. Lots of great stuff. Lots of great stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the show tonight. I appreciate you guys coming on. Another like, Alice Maston, thank you, Allison, and Mo Mountain, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I want everybody during this next week to take a step back from all the controversy that's going on over whether the PG film is real or if it's fake, or whatever is going on. Take a step back, study the information, make an informed decision. Do not opinionate your decision. That's my main thing. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next Monday night. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Sasquatch. Watch Radio. We are incredibly grateful for our community. Because of you, we've surpassed 6,700 subscribers and continue to grow every day. Our mission here at STEVUR is simple: to provide a platform for honest, down-to-earth discussions about Bigfoot, free from drama and ridicule. If you've enjoyed the show, please help us spread the word. If you're interested in being a guest, you can reach us via our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or by emailing us at sasquatchwatchradio@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube to access our full archive dating back to 2008 and to stay updated on all upcoming episodes. If you've had a sighting or an encounter you'd like to report, let us know. We have a network of researchers across the United States ready to assist. You can now find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Please leave us a comment and let us know what topics you'd like to hear next. We'll see you next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on squatching.